We are so excited to have our last presentation of the day, Todd Evans of Franchise Group. Thank you for being with us. Hi, Todd.
Hey, Mary Jo.
Take it away.
Thanks, Mary Jo. I'm Todd Evans, and I'm Chief Franchise Officer for the Franchise Group, and I'm speaking to you live today from Atlanta, Georgia. The Franchise Group is fairly new to the franchising marketplace, but we've certainly entered with a roar. We consist of a small group of financial and franchise experts that have come together to create something that's really special and something that's growing very, very quickly. What I wanted to do today was to rifle you through a brief history of the Franchise Group and then give you a high-level overview of each of the operating companies, which I'll affectionately refer to as OpCos through the course of the presentation. So as you can see in the top left-hand corner there, the beginnings of the Franchise Group started with Brian Kahn. Our CEO acquired an equity stake in Liberty Tax back in August of 18. In July of 19, Brian merged Buddies with Liberty Tax, and in September changed the name to the Franchise Group. In October of 19, we acquired Sears outlet stores for $129 million and were able to get past all the accounting irregularities created by Liberty, if you will, and effectively relist the company on the NASDAQ. Again, that was November of 19. December of 19, we acquired the Vitamin Shoppe for $208 million, and in February, we acquired American Freight Furniture for $450 million and merged the Sears outlet stores in under the American Freight brand. We launched the franchising of American Freight in early 21, and then February of 21 announced the sale of Liberty Tax to a Canadian SPAC called NextPoint for $240 million. We'll still maintain about an 18% equity stake in Liberty Tax, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Liberty today, but what I will say is Brent Turner and the team over there are really reinventing Liberty Tax, and they're leveraging up the intimacy of the relationship between a taxpayer and a tax preparer to effectively create a full financial services buffet to the cash or credit constrained consumer. So I would say keep your eyes on Liberty Tax. That enterprise is going to be going places. Very excited that in March of 2021, we acquired Pet Supplies Plus for $700 million. And in March, we also launched franchising or refranchising of Buddies, and we launched the franchise program for the Vitamin Shoppe and are happy to announce that we awarded our first franchises for American Freight in April. So as you can see, we've accomplished quite a bit over the course of the last 24 months or so. So as of today, Franchise Group is a curated collection of industry-leading brands. We have approximately 4,600 locations across North America, the Caribbean, and some locations internationally. We're doing around $3.5 billion in system-wide revenue and have a market cap of around $1.5 billion. So we're growing very, very, very quickly and excited about the opcos that we have under the FRG portfolio. I want to start with American Freight and just give you a quick overview of that business and what it's all about, and talk about the unit level economics. So with American Freight, we have approximately 350 locations across the United States and Puerto Rico. American Freight is a stack it high and let it fly retail concept. As you can see in the video, the stores have very much sort of a Home Depot type feel. And if you look at the bottom of the value pyramid there, you can see where we come in. And in fact, 71% of our customers really cite price as the reason for shopping at American Freight. So the stripped down interior really allows us to bring this value proposition to the marketplace. American Freight competes in $120 billion home furnishings marketplace, and it's very scalable. As you can see, the build out is very simple: concrete floors, metal racks, and the compensation structure that we have set up for our company stores is the associates are all commission based. So it is a business, once franchise principals really learn how the business operates, you have the ability to take a step back and develop multiple units. And with American Freight, there are significant refranchise opportunities. And we have a lot of folks that are inquiring about the opportunity to acquire some earnings to serve as a foundation for more rapid organic expansion. A little bit for the economics on American Freight. It costs you about $450,000 to get an American Freight up and underway. And the stores in our top quartile this past year did a little over $4.7 million in top line revenues and made a little over $855,000 in pre-tax. So needless to say, a very, very profitable business. And one of the things that you'll notice with all of the opcos under the FRG brand, they are textbook find a need and fill it businesses that are truly sustainable in that they provide needed products and services to consumers. Next, if you're interested in learning more about American Freight, you can contact Jim Steger or visit onamericanfreight.com. The next brand that I'd like to talk about is Buddy's. Buddy's began franchising in 2009. They are the third largest rent-to-own player in North America with nearly 300 stores in 22 states. We have about 45 company stores and 251 franchise stores, and the vast majority of our franchisees are multi-unit franchise owners. And that business, the Buddy's business, basically provides consumer durables to cash or credit constrained consumers who can't get those products in their homes through the more traditional retail means. And what I'm really talking about is a customer base, which is, a mom, a dad, two kids, a dog or a cat living in a rented house or rented apartment, and their refrigerator dies. And they don't have the cash or credit to get a refrigerator through the traditional retail means, and they can come to Buddy's and we can deliver a refrigerator to them today. As you can see, our target customer are households under 75,000, and it is a very, very resilient business in that in bad economic times when credit is tight, folks struggle to get consumer durables with credit, and rent to own becomes a channel of retailing that they can depend on. in good economic times, everybody wants to upgrade, and they want to move from the material sofa to the leather sofa, or from a 32-inch flat screen TV to a 64-inch television set. So it is a business that really does well in every economic cycle. The business is also a very, very profitable business. It'll cost you about $400,000 to get a Buddy's up and underway. And the top quartile of our company stores in 2020 generated $1,370,000 in top line revenue and had free cash flow of just under $390,000. And if you're interested in learning more about Buddy's, you can reach out to Mitchell Lee, or you can visit ownabuddies.com. The next opco I'd like to talk about is the Vitamin Shoppe. The Vitamin Shoppe is a brand that we're extremely excited about. They compete in a $50 billion market that is growing very, very quickly. 735 locations dotted around the country with no franchises. So we're just now getting the franchise program up and underway for the Vitamin Shoppe. They are the leading omni-channel specialty health and wellness retailer in the nation. And obviously, with the renewed emphasis on health and wellness with COVID-19, that business is trending very, very well right now. With over 40 years of experience, Vitamin Shoppe has really zeroed in on a formula that works. They have a very sophisticated distribution network that supplies both branded and non-branded products that would be available to provide branded and non-branded products to franchise stores once we get some open out there. We just recently announced a relationship with Weight Watchers with a rock on an energy drink that he carries, and we are carrying a line of CBD products with Martha Stewart. So we're very excited about the affiliations that we're creating with some of the branded products. And we have a large selection of private label products as well that drive significant margin to the stores. There are limited refranchise opportunities available with the Vitamin Shoppe, but there is a lot of room for greenfield growth with that brand. A little bit on the unit level economics. The average company store last year in the top 25% or in the top quartile did $1.7 million in top line revenue and made a little over $300,000 in pre-tax profit on an investment of around $600,000. If you're interested in learning more about the Vitamin Shoppe, you can reach out to David Denker or visit ownavitaminshoppe.com. And finally, Pet Supplies Plus. This is our most recent acquisition, and you can kind of see on the map the footprint for Pet Supplies Plus. Pretty heavy in the Northeast and through the Rust Belt, and then we come down through the Southeast and over in Texas. So lots of room to grow with that brand. There are currently 566 locations across 36 states, 240 of those being company-owned and 326 being franchised. And with COVID and folks staying home, more people basically went out and got pets. Today, over 68% of all American households have pets, and most of those households have more than one pet. And Pet Supplies Plus was ranked #1 for 7 straight years as the top pet franchise in Entrepreneur magazine, which is pretty impressive. The business itself, again, with over 30 years of experience, they have a very refined business model and distribution network to supply both branded and non-branded products to the franchise stores. In fact, I was in Seymour, Indiana last week at one of their distribution centers that's 750,000 square feet. It's kind of tough to get your head around that, but it's basically a building that's a third of a mile wide and a third of a mile long. I've never seen so many aquariums and pet food and dog food, but their system is such that they can supply products to franchisees at a very, very affordable price, and the private label products that they carry allow for tremendous margins. They are also developing very, very rapidly an omni-channel approach, and their view is pretty simple. With nearly 600 locations dotted around the country, they can really serve as many distribution centers delivering products to consumers in a timely fashion. A little bit on the unit economics for Pet Supplies Plus. So their average franchise store that is over 4 years old does a little over $2.6 million in top line revenue and makes $220,000 in pre-tax profit, and that's all on an investment of around $600,000. If you're interested in learning more about Pet Supplies Plus, you can contact Nick Russo or visit PetSuppliesPlusFranchising.com. If you're interested in learning more about multiple opcos, you can reach Jason Mattis at the number listed here. Jason is in charge of franchise development for the franchise group and kind of manages the development team with all the opcos. And we currently have multiple multi-unit franchisees who are inquiring about acquiring existing EBITDA to serve as kind of a cornerstone for more rapid organic growth. And if that's something that you're interested in, please reach out to myself or to Jason. And let's see, I think we may have a couple of questions here. What are the first 3 goals you'd suggest a franchisee put in place in order to find success from the start? The first goal, and really the biggest goal, would be you have to work all of these businesses. I've been in franchising for 30 years, and the failures that I've seen have really been with franchisees that invest in a franchise and treat it like a stock. They just invest the money and walk away. And to be successful in any business, you truly have to get the dirt of the business under your fingernails. So the biggest goal that I would outline for you is to, for the first year, to very, very aggressively get in there and work your business and learn every aspect about how that business operates. Once you learn that, most franchise systems are such that you can take a step back and go open up a second or third or fourth location with the systems providing you the information that you need to run your business as opposed to your business running you. But without that in-depth knowledge of how the business operates, I probably wouldn't mess with an investment. Let's see. Second question here: is there a good social media tool for franchises to give franchisees the ability to create and post customizable branded libraries? So yes, there is. There's a marketing department, a very sophisticated marketing department in each one of these opcos that would work collaboratively with the franchisees on how to properly go to market. And with that, I do not see any more questions. So Mary Jo, I will hand it back over to you.
Todd, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it. And all the information you provided us today. In fact, I want to thank all of our company executives today: Play It Again Sports, Hotworks, and Franchise Group, Inc. You can replay their presentations on our Franchise Times website. And also a big thank you again to our Franchise Times primetime sponsor, both of them, Tenet Financial and Plant Moran. Please join us again for the next episode of Primetime on Thursday, June 17th. Registration will open for that next week. Our presenting companies will be You Break, I Fix, Another Broken Egg, and Tropical Smoothie. And if you are a brand that wants to be part of a future episode of Primetime, please contact Kevin Peach here at Franchise Times at 612-767-3206 or at kpeach@franchisetimes.com. Thank you again for joining us, and have a great rest of the day.